Good morning, everybody. So this is my face with no makeup on. So I'm about to do my second attempt of this video because the first one I couldn't post because I had music on in the background. So instead, I've got some questions to answer to make it a little bit more interesting as you watch me do my makeup. Obviously, I'm going to talk you through how I do my makeup as well as we go. So first thing I do, I don't use any primer, never have done. Well, I have done once and I hated it, so I've never used it again. So I always just put my foundation on first. So I use this Maybelline 30-hour stay in the colour Sun Beige. So it's this one. I have tried more expensive foundations and I'll be honest, I just don't like them. This is the best one. I always get loads of compliments and people asking what foundation I use. And I do like a thick coverage. So this for me is what we go for. So I start off by popping it over the skin everywhere in quite a rough way. I'm not too careful with it to start off with. And I do make sure that I always put it down the neck. So a little bit more. Once it's on, I then make sure to pull it down, pull it all in a downwards direction. So the reason for this is your tiny, tiny little baby hairs on your face. You want them to all be facing the same way to give you the smoothest look possible. Just got my bigger mirror here, so if I can't see properly, I might just be looking this way. And then what I do to make sure it's blended in my neck, I've got a real big fluffy brush. Blend it down all the way so that there's not any harsh line where it stops. So after that, I go on to doing a little bit of contouring. So I'll use concealer. So this one is the Lasting Perfection Blemish by Collection 2000. Again, nothing expensive. Just pop a little bit there, a little bit there. And then I just use the same brush as I've used for my foundation, but I'll blotch it like this rather than brush it into the skin. So it's important that when you do this that you don't use it in a brush motion because it will pull at the foundation and give you a blotchy look on the skin. So it's like patting it into the skin as such. Ta-da! Then next we go on to the darker section. Now I don't use an actual contouring kit. I use this Pro Base by MUA Makeup Academy. It has got a brush on the end, but I tried it and I don't like it, so I use one of my other brushes. So it's a stick and I just buy it in a darker colour, and all I do is down here. Actually, I'm going to look in here because I can't see properly on there. And then I'll use my little brush, this kind of like little fat fuzzy brush, to blend that in as such. So I just find this brush is so much better. The brush that actually comes with it looks like, it gives it, I don't know, it just doesn't blend as well. It goes a bit like blotchy looking. So this one for me is like far better. So whilst I'm doing this, it's probably a good time, because this is the bit that takes the longest, to answer a couple of questions. So I have them on my other phone down here. So I've got some really good ones actually. I have what's your biggest bugbear about the fitness industry? I think the confusing advice is a bugbear, because there's so many people out there giving advice that is just either not true or shit advice. So that's a bugbear. Coaches that can't even perform exercises correctly themselves, that are then coaching other people to do these exercises, that's a big bugbear. But to be honest, most of the fitness industry I absolutely love. It is just those things that like annoy me, just because I'm so passionate about it. And I think as a coach, you're literally coaching someone and you have an impact on their whole life. Like, it's a serious thing. And it just annoys me when people can't, you've got coaches that are coaching people that can't even do things themselves. So yeah, that's probably my biggest bugbear. Also, another thing is people not valuing good PTs and good coaches. Doesn't matter if I turn up late for my session because they're at the gym anyway, it doesn't matter. No, it's their business. You wouldn't do that to a hairdresser. Oh, well, they're at the hair salon all day, so I'll just go whenever I want and just expect them to move me around. Like, it doesn't work like that. And I think having value for good coaches with a lot of good experience and quality results, rather than just paying for what you can get for the cheapest. Like, you can get your hair dyed from Box Dye in Asda, which is not going to be the same as if you go to LA and you pay one of the top salons, one of the top hairstylists to do your hair, but obviously that's going to be more expensive. So it's just exactly the same like in the fitness industry, but I feel like it gets less credit in the fitness industry, like having that experience. I don't know, I'm sure people in other industries would say the same, but yeah, it just annoys me when quality gets overlooked, I think, a lot of the time. So that is my dark part of my contour done and the highlighter part. So then what I do is I go over, now because that's all cream based, with a powder. So I use this one. It's on selfie mode, so it's all back to front, but it's Revolution Banana Baking Powder. So it's a loose powder. It's pretty clear. It's got a slightly yellow tint to it because my skin is quite, well, not yellow, but it's on the yellower tint to the pinky tint. So that's why I use this one. So I will just use this to go over here. So the majority of it sits where the concealer's gone, but then I do bring a little bit of it down over here. So you can just see the difference in the smoothness this side compared to this side now. And then I just a tiny across the forehead. So that just means now, when I go over with my powdered bronzer and my powdered blush, that it doesn't cling to the cream base on there. Oh, it's right in front of my face. So the bronzer that I use is this one, this Rimmel Natural Bronzer. I think it's got a little bit of, yeah, it's got a tiny little bit of shimmer in it, but not too much. And then all I do with this, just a tiny bit over the top. And then the blush that I use is MUA Makeup Academy blushed. It's quite a pink. I do like it to be quite a pop of a pink. And I put that at the top here rather than on the apple of my cheek. So it gives more of a look than a, because I've actually got, as you can see, quite like little hamster cheeks, so I don't need it to be any more emphasis on there, so I put it up here. Then the last bit on my actual skin is the highlighter. Now I can't see my flat highlighter brush. Oh, here it is. So I use a flat, like a paddle brush for this. The highlighter that I use is Revolution Super Highlight, and I go for quite a golden highlight. I've got like a more pinky one and a whiter one that I use for kind of like different things, but on the whole, I generally prefer it to be more of like a natural glow rather than like a pink glow, if that makes sense. One of the questions Alex asked was, can I do a video of how I get ready to go and destroy my clients? This is it. I do the same every single day. So I make sure that I look nice and glamorous before I head off to bury anyone at the bottom of a hack squat, basically. So then the next thing that I will do will be my lips, which for this, I can't see my lip liner, which is, oh, here it is. So I use this one, which is I think it's Rimmel, I'm not sure. The thing's come off it now. But it's like a nudie pink colour. So that goes on the bottom and the top. And then the lipstick that I use is, again, Rimmel in the colour 006 Pink Blush. And I have a little bit of that on, Electro. And then I have a brush. This is an Urban Decay brush. Their brushes are amazing. And I just use that to brush it in with the liner so that it all blends in, so it's not like an obvious line. And then a little bit of this gloss over the top, which again I believe is a Rimmel one, but it's rubbed off. Glam Shine 400 Juicy Rose Glow. Nice. Okay, so then the next bit that I will do is my eyebrows. Now, I've got pins and needles in my hand. So that's something I really suffer with. You know, with my neck issues, because the nerves are so compressed, I do get pins and needles in my hands, which is absolutely lovely, as you can imagine. So sometimes when I'm doing my makeup, I have to just kind of go like this. I can't find my eyebrow pencil, which is fantastic. Where are you? Where are you? Eh. I always have everything in one place. And now it's just typical that I am not able to find my eyebrow pencil, which is fantastic. I do have a makeup bag that I carry most of my day-to-day stuff around in. And then in here is my makeup drawer, where I have all of my extra... So, oh, don't panic, we are back. So, we have, so, there we go. The Rimmel eyebrow pencil with a little brush on the end. I don't use anything too fancy on this. So all I do is brush my eyebrows so the hairs are all in the right direction. This is the bit of my makeup that I absolutely hate doing. Like, I hate it so much. I do need to really get my eyebrows done, because this just, every morning I'm like, oh God, eyebrow time. Hate it. So all I do on here, I'm going to have to look in this mirror, so just bear with me, is a line underneath that like defines the brow. And then I will go to the top, like halfway up. Bit more gentle on this bit, because I don't want the top line to be too harsh. Pardon me. So one of the questions I got asked was, what does Simon do while you do your makeup? And the thing is we get up at the same time every day at 5 a.m. and it's just my first thing. So I'll get up, I'll go to the bathroom, have a shower, brush my teeth, do my makeup. So he knows that this is my routine. Like, it's the same every single day. So whilst I'm doing this, he will just either go downstairs and make a coffee, have a little bit of a tidy up. He makes the bed every day. So yeah, he knows that this is always the way that it is, because once I've done this, I am set for the day. This is not coming off, and I just feel so much better. You know, people will say, oh, you don't need to have that makeup on. Well, I like it, so. And it isn't that I don't feel comfortable without it. Like, I don't always wear it if I'm, you know, sometimes I'll go to the shop and stuff and not have makeup on. But I just feel better with my makeup on, so it makes me feel nice. And I don't see anything wrong with that. So same under here. One of the questions on here was from one of my clients, and she said, if I was a cake, would you still make me do the hack squat? Yes, probably, because then you'd be a bigger cake because you'd get hench, and then that'd be even better because it'd be a bigger cake. So that's my thought process behind that one. So we are nearly done. So a question I had was, do I wear my makeup when I'm doing my spin classes? Not when I do them first thing in the morning, no, because I'll come home and do my makeup after. But if they are ones during the day, absolutely. I'm not taking my makeup off to do it. Like, if it sweats off, it sweats off. But in fairness, this, unless I sweat loads and then rub it, it ain't budging. Nowhere. Ta-da! So then all I'll do afterwards is just a little brush over. Just again to make sure the hairs are all in the correct position, so it's nice and sleek. Okay, and then the last bit is the eyes. So, eyeshadow. I use mostly my Carnival palette because it has all of the nice colours on. As you can see the ones that I use the most often are like the neutral ones and like the orangey kind of tones. A little bit of the pinky ones. Blue, not so much. Mainly because my work uniform was blue for a long time and I didn't want to look like I'd done my makeup to match my work uniform. So maybe now my work uniform's not blue anymore, you know, I might try a little bit more blue eyeshadow, I don't know. So I always go with basic, so that is this one. Oh, you can't see very well. This one here, which is like a real new, well, it's like a huey brown in here. So this is generally what I do day to day. It's like a bronzy kind of look. Sometimes I'll go with the pinks. Sometimes I'll go with the orange. But generally, this is what I do. And then the next one that I use is the one just above that. So it's the more bronzy coloured one. And that goes on my actual eyelid. As such. Then I'll use a dark brown from the bottom, so it's non-bronze, just a dark brown, and that goes under her. Ignore what I do with this, it like pulls the skin down tight. Under there. Under there. And then the bronzy colour, that goes underneath. And then the very last thing that I will do is use a colour on the left side called Shuffle, which is like a mustardy kind of colour. And I'll use that with the bigger side of the brush to just really blend it in with the skin. So I hate it when you see eyeshadow where it's just like it finishes and then it, like, no, it has to blend in. Ta-da! Then mascara, lashes, done. So mascara that I use is Maybelline Colossal Lash. And I don't really use much of it at all because I only use it because, as you can see, my eyelashes are actually blonde. So I'll put this on just so that when I put my false lashes on, you can't see my blonde lashes next to them. So I'm not really like too bothered about how it goes on. It literally is just to take away from them being so blonde. Cool. But then lashes. So I reuse my lashes. So these ones I do actually probably could do with getting some new ones out, but I'm just going to go with these ones today. So the lashes that I use are actually just from Amazon. They are like, I think they're $5.99 or $6.99 for a pack of 5 or 6. I think there's 5 in a pack. Oh, just dropped one. And I always use these. Always use the same ones because they're just the best and they're cheap. But the cheaper ones, I'm telling you right now, are sometimes the better ones because you want the back bit of the lash, like that bit, to be as flexible as possible. So generally, the cheaper they are, the lighter they are, the more flexible they are, the easier that they stick. So that is my top tip for you. The glue that I use is this Ardell Lash Grip. I've used this glue for ages now. This one's actually really running out. I've got a new one, but I don't want to open it until this one's like done. So I'm trying to get like the last bits out of it. So I put that on. Then what I'll do is whilst that's setting, I will do my hair quickly. So just literally let my hair down and brush it. And then I'll stick these on, but I'll show you the rest once it's done because I need to go to the other side of the room to stick these on because for some weird reason I have to stand up to put my lashes on. Do not know why, but that's the way that it is. So I'll be back with the lashes. So here is the end look. And that's how I do my makeup every day.